This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, everybody. It's 1 o'clock on Thursday. This is our last podcast of the week. I greatly enjoy the opportunity to speak with everybody and to share the information. Since my last email yesterday, quite a few of you have reached out. I think I've answered everybody. If I didn't, I'll go back and check. But I try to answer every text message, every email personally. And I so much appreciate you guys reaching out to me. Please continue to send me your questions, send me your thoughts. I learned so much by having dialogue with you guys, and then quite honestly, it helps me to know what to say. There's so much misinformation out there, and the psychiatrists have done such a good job of brainwashing our people, and that's really what I wanted to talk about today. We're continuing to go through the second citizens petition, which we, thanks to Alex, got published. The FDA published it on regulations.gov. That gives us some credibility. Trust me on that. And we're at the part in the second citizens petition where we're going to begin talking about the psychiatrist. Okay, what went wrong? Okay, how did I don't know, 8 million people, 12 million people, I don't know. How did millions of citizens end up being genetically damaged? The type of genetic damage is called methylation. It's in a very specific part of the DNA. The specific part of the DNA where the damage occurs is a gene known as the OPRM1 gene. OPRM1 stands for opioid mu receptor 1. That is the main opioid receptor. That thing is 400 million years old, and it's embedded in every neurologic process in the body, and it is just flat out not something that you want to mess with. It's not something you want to mess with. So that's where the genetic damage occurs. It's been found on multiple scientific studies. Okay, we're not the ones that discovered it. It was first seen in 2009. And so what we're going to begin talking about is how did the psychiatrists get this wrong? Okay, and here's what I want you to know, and here's what I want you to remember. Okay, opinions are not science. Opinions are not science. That is as basic as I can break it down. Okay, opinions are not science. Okay, when the psychiatrist says that you are a drug addict, that you are an opioid, that you have opioid addiction, that's their opinion. There's no science to base that off of. Okay, and that's really what it comes down to. And if you look at the screen today, okay, what you're looking at there is that's the father of modern science. Okay, that is the type of science that we follow today. Okay, that is Dr. Karl Popper, and sometimes his words can be a little difficult to follow, but I want you guys to see him anyway. But what Dr. Popper is basically saying is that opinion is not science. And the reason that opinion is not science is because you can't prove that an opinion is wrong. And if you can't prove that something's wrong, it's just not science. It doesn't meet the criteria. Okay, so when someone says, "Oh, you're an opioid addict," well, there's no way to prove that wrong. And since there's no way to prove that wrong, it cannot be a scientific statement. And so Dr. Popper warned us back in the 20s and 30s and 40s, really all through up through the 1980s. He warned us psychiatry is not science. It's pseudoscience. It's no different from astrology. It's no different from horoscopes. And that's what he actually compared it to, is horoscopes and astrology. It's somebody's opinion. How can you prove it wrong? It's not real science. Okay, it's not like physics. It's not like chemistry. It's not like the other sciences that are true hard science. And if you pretend that psychiatry is a true science, you're gonna end up with some bad results. That is exactly what happened. People pretended that psychiatry was like a real science, and that the psychiatrists actually knew, had some proof behind what they were saying, and they don't. And they got it wrong. Okay, we've looked at the vast amount of science that they ignored in order to give their opinion. Okay, they ignored the research from Gunn in 1960. They ignored the research from McCara Brody in 1968. They ignored the research from Dell in 1990. They ignored the research from Chang in 1990. They ignored the research by Kinebaum in 1998. They ignored the research by Nielsen in 2009. They ignored the research by Shorbob in 2011. They ignored the research by Walkman in 2014. They ignored the research by Walkman in 2018. They ignored the research by Sandoval Sierra in 2020. They have ignored research and science and real science for decades, completely ignored it, so they can put forth their little pet theory of that says you're a drug addict, says you're an opioid addict. Okay, so what we're doing here on this show is we're arming people with the science. No, let's go all the way back to 1960 and let's go forward. In fact, go back and listen to the last, I don't know, 8 shows or so. Okay, we really went through the science historically, and we laid it out so that people can begin to heal from being mislabeled as a drug addict, that they can begin to heal from being told they had a mental health diagnosis. No, you didn't. You were genetically damaged, and when you tried to quit taking the opioids, your body lost control of the internal organs, and unfortunately, one of the organs you lose control of is your adrenal gland, and that thing will kill you. So stay with us here. You're going to hear the science, and we'll go over it again and again and again. Okay, we're never going to stop. Okay, a couple of you guys reached out and with concerns that somebody's going to put a bullet in my head for speaking the truth. First off, I'm honored by your concern. Okay, thank you for your concern. B, I don't care. I'm not. It's not stopping me. If they're gonna stop me, they're gonna put a bullet in my head because there's no other way they're gonna stop me. I fully anticipate that they will do something to me, and that's fine. Let them do it. It's not going to stop me from telling the truth. Nothing is going to get between me and you guys and sharing the truth and sharing the science and making sure that you guys are armed with the actual facts. Nothing's going to stop that. Alex and I are here every day, Monday through Thursday at 1 o'clock. We don't miss. Okay, I try to keep these podcasts short. How far are we today? Yeah, it's about time to wrap up here. I try to keep these podcasts short out of respect for y'all's time. I know y'all are busy. Everybody works. So please, we'll end here today. We'll end here this week. We'll be back next week unless somebody does put a bullet in my head. But until then, we're not stopping. Please like and subscribe to us. Put this podcast on your social media. Put it on everybody else's social media. Let's get the word out there. If you're not getting my emails, if you didn't get an email from me yesterday, okay, check your spam. If you didn't get an email from me yesterday, send me your email address. You can actually go to Smith Genetics Research, and the little thing to put the little pop up will come up to put your email in, and let's get your email address, and we'll try to send out at least a couple of emails a week. God, there's so much information to cover, and I'm real excited about next week because I think we'll have our first letter to Senator Kennedy ready, talking about the genetic damage that the children have inherited and the autism that he's trying to bird dog down. I think we can help him with that. All right, that's it for today. That's it for the week. Alex, thank you very much, and we will see you guys here next week.